Hello and welcome to Horde of Tales. My name is Marcus, also known as the Chindividual. I am a pale Caucasian male with dark brown hair, a dark beard, glasses, a red long sleeve on with the message to please do not yeet this unit. And I am here again today to play some D&D, but I'm not alone here. There are 4 people who, week after week, humor me again to come and play D&D with me. And I want to give them the chance to quickly also introduce themselves for this week, going around our virtual table, starting in the left upper corner with Serial.
Hello, everybody. I am Serial, pronouns they, them. I am a Caucasian person with black, short-ish hair and a streak of white in the front. Excuse me. Apparently, my throat did not like my description. I'm wearing a spiked collar and a shirt with little like skeleton things on it, like skulls and bones and stuff. And I play Rebus, who is a warforged barbarian made of metal and wood and kind of like patchwork of different pieces, and who has a shattered faceplate. And they sound like this and use any pronouns, but usually they, them.
Awesome. Great to have you back at the table. Moving on to Ida.
Hello, my name is Aida. My pronouns are she and her. I'm a Latina woman with tan skin, dark eyes, dark hair. I am wearing a blue sleeveless top, and I am playing Rayn, pronouns also she and her. She is a Triton sorcerer, meaning she has aqua blue skin, finned ears, wears a saffron outfit, knee-high boots with wings on the ankles, and has a mop of like dark seaweed black curly hair.
Fantastic. Nice to have you here. Austin, welcome.
Hello, I'm Austin, pronouns he, they. I am a Caucasian bearded person with floppy hair and pink headphones and a pink shirt. I play Dythun, Leonin fighter cleric. Ooh, spoiler. With like black and brown lion fur, shiny armor, and very angry at beholders currently.
Exactly. And of course, all of the weapons one can imagine on that fighter. And last but certainly not least, Caro.
Hey, I'm Carol, she, they pronouns. I'm a Caucasian femme with long turquoise hair. Today wearing usual color black. Left arm sleeveless. I needed to think like, okay, is it left or right? I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm going to play Delphine, who is a tanned half elf with rather long, wavy, light blue hair. Scar over her face, I've got to pronounce she and they as well. And yeah, she has a tricon hat on her head and generally rocking that pirate style.
Whoop, whoop, rocking that pirate style. Glad to have all of you back here today. We ended the last session, which was an entire session dedicated to fighting beholders and mini beholders, on the fact that some of you are wounded, some of you are very damaged, and some of you lie on the ground about to make some death saving throws. With that ahead of us, how's the table feeling? What's the vibe here today?
Vibe is
Good.
hello Anya, thanks for raid.
Thank
Oh,
you.
hello. The vibe is, I'm very glad 2 constants of this stream are Delphine always is rocking that pirate style, and Caro is 9 times out of 10 wearing something black.
funny how that is, and I can assure you, I have actually a lot of colors in my in my closet.
Press
Never said it was
X
a bad
to
thing.
doubt.
What?
I don't believe you.
This is
I
true.
need to
I
look
have
at
seen in
further.
person colors other than black, but she does look very good in black. She looks good in all the colors.
It's
She's
mostly
a very
because
good-looking
of the.
person.
Thank you. First of all,
Aw.
Ridiculously, just like.
I think
The
it's because
flirting.
of the coloration of the hair, and since the color is always bleeding, it's easier to wear black because there you don't see the color bleed.
Fair.
That's fair.
That's a good point. All right, then. They're talking about good-looking people. How about we get to our good-looking characters and see what fate awaits them?
Am I being
But
buttered up? Am I gonna die again? Do I need to roll up my other backup characters?
You can borrow
We,
one of my free. It's fine.
we will soon know.
We need to
But
edit the opening again.
where will we know that? We will know this here today on Horde of Tales, where it's Tuesdays, and on Tuesdays we check if Rayn is dead. I mean, we play Dungeons and Dragons on Tuesdays, and
I have a question. Where did that beer that you had in the back? Where did that vanish to?
that beer. Oh, the one I
Yeah.
had in the back here on my
Yeah.
couch. Ah, well, isn't that one of the great mysteries of life? Maybe we'll find out. Maybe we'll see him, but
He's gonna come back
we
with 12
Subs-
eye stops.
Subscribe to have the bear back.
absolutely subscribe to have the bear back here on Horde of Tales with our 5e adventure series of the Convergence Manifesto, an adventure series created by the Across Aberrations project, and we are currently in Chapter 8, March of Madness. The adventures can be found on DM's Guild if you look for the Convergence Manifesto series, and are written by a bunch of amazing writers. The current one that we're in is written by Andrew Bashinsky. We also use as our virtual tabletop Foundry VTT. The music you hear is by Jill Studler and Dark Fantasy Dark Fantasy Studios. And in case you see any battle maps like you did in last session for an entire session, they were probably made in Dungeon Draft by Mega Sploot. Also, if you've been paying attention to our chat, we've been hoping for cats. And the reason we've been hoping for cats for today is because you can give cat vantage to people. If you spot a cat on someone's camera, you can use your channel points and give someone cat vantage. For example, you could give Austin the actual cat PC here. You could give Austin cat vantage. And if you do, a cute little kitty cat pops up on their little window. And the player can choose when to use it to give themselves advantage on a roll. Once it's used, the cat goes away again, like this. Keep in mind, if you use the channel points to give cat vantage, you must actually see a cat on stream. You must tell us which player gets it, and you can also give it to the GM. If you don't tell us which player gets it, the GM gets the cat vantage, and if the GM already has cat vantage, terrible things might happen. Anyway, with all of that being said, how about we roll a quick little intro, and then we start session number 61 of the Convergence Manifesto. Be right back.
Doodles.
Beholders.
Handlers.
We are back with a little less beholders, but that is certainly a word that could describe our previous adventure with these intrepid adventurers. Having been sent here out into the swamps at the behest of High Prince Ryger of the Lozar Principalities, our adventurers have teamed up with a druid known as Vola to help and investigate what might have happened to an ancient ruin or temple where some grand evil from the plane of Xoriat has been bound. Our adventurers do know that someone has been messing with that place, or is probably messing with that place. Aurea Ikorin, former employer of our player characters, and now rival, antagonist, who seeks to use planar powers in a quest for vengeance. Our party has used a portal shortcut to go from the Kubara swamps to the Shadow Marches, together with Vola, to where this temple, fortress, ruin place is. And the welcoming party was a curious one. A massive beholder, together with smaller, eye-covered minions. The party, together with their druidic companion, fought against the monsters, overcame their eye-based sorceries, and revealed the might of the chains of Mortal, which Dythun is still wielding. However, in the heat of the fight, Rayn, flying above, raining down magic on the enemies, was struck out of the sky, fell to the ground, and is lying there right now. Before we get to any of the other characters, Ida, you as a player,
Hi.
could you roll me a death saving throw, roll me a d20, and send me the result in private?
Oh,
What die to choose? Oh. You know what? You've been rolling a-okay-ish. For the audience that might not know, Rayn has died before, and a consequence, not a consequence, but a side effect of having overcome death, which one does not normally overcome, she has only 2 chances to stave off permanent death.
Exactly. While these checks are being made, what is the rest of the party doing
am I
as
still
combat has died down?
paralyzed?
Actually, that is a good question. The source of your paralysis has been taken care of, and you feel as the beholder has come undone, Delphine, your stiff limbs allow for movement again.
Okay, then I would say let's check on Rayn. I'm not wasting time with like, oh yeah, looking if she is breathing or anything. I basically give her like a slap on the cheek to wake her up and give her 5 lay on hands points in the process.
You rush over to her and slap her on the cheek, fueled with your paladin healing, and Rayn.
And I
You open your
basically
eyes?
say, to Rayn, you're not dying again, not again.
I mean, with your bedside manner, you almost sent me there permanently. That one would have been on you. But thank you.
I run over. Is everybody okay? Rayn, are you okay?
Did we get it?
Yeah.
You just look over. Dythun is like made his way to the body, and he's just like taking his javelin out and just stabbing it.
We were chasing Aurea.
Right. Do I see any signs of where we should go next?
I'm
How
assuming
about
right now.
Dungeon of Doom over there.
As
It
all
was
of
more
you
to
are.
me.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, it was more to me like the moment we got here, we saw the enemies essentially, the beholder, and like I did not take any time to like take in where we are, what you know,
Would you?
if Aurea has been here, if like there are any paths that look like have been traveled, or like if there's more danger coming. So I'd like to know what's
I will. That's actually a good point. As Reeb is looking around, but also Serial, good point, because we basically got into the fight here, and I can imagine that also as players, a little bit of extra description of what this place looks like might also help. But as I will give a little description, but I would like also all of you, no matter where you are at this point, could all of you roll me an intelligence saving throw, please?
Oh god.
Where were we in
Oh,
Delphine was
God.
over Rayn,
I
Next
would
to
say-
Rayn.
and Rebus came over, and Dythun went to the corpse.
Exactly. So
Yes.
everyone except Dythun would benefit from the paladin aura.
Yes.
Hey y'all, did you know it's possible to roll 0 in this game?
Technically, yes.
Oh no. Intelligence saving
Oh.
throw, you said?
Yes.
That's actually not that bad.
Is this against Charmed or Frightened?
That's a good question. Is it against Charmed?
It is against Charmed.
I get to reroll. I get
Okay,
advantage.
I have advantage.
Oh yeah, me
Oh,
too.
That's your one.
I rolled a natural one, everybody.
For a total of?
3.
Wait, you have nothing on the intelligence as plus?
Yeah, plus
yeah,
2.
well, I rolled a natural 1, so no, a
Yeah,
total of
but-
4 actually.
Yeah, net 1s and net 20s are only counting in combat situations.
I know. I'm
Yeah.
just saying.
Total
I doubt the
17.
DC is 3.
17,
Total 21.
21. And Dythun, just to double check, your total was 0.
Yeah, I rolled a 1 minus 1.
Okay, so what you see here around you looks like an old temple structure. The carvings in the wall are weathered. It's hard to see any kind of relief in them, any kind of texture. Vines grow over the walls, and the top of the walls even have like these very old shingles on the top of the roof. Additionally to this old temple structure and this old kind of architecture, still surrounding some of these walls are massive, glowing purple-pink tentacles that have been growing out of the ground, out of the water that runs by this facility, and parts of the ground are also covered in this gooey, moist texture that seems unnatural, a kind of supernatural fungus that is just creeping over stone and rock and building. The air has like a bit of a petrichor smell, as if rain has fallen on dry ground. But there's also a hint of strangely enough, there's a hint of olive oil in the air. And for those of you for those of you who have skin, it feels as if no matter what you do, you have this permanent layer of goosebumps on your skin. There is just always that feeling for all of you, as from every angle and every corner, something is watching you. Talking about watching,
thanks for watching the stream, everyone.
I have to quickly
Are we
send.
breaking the fourth wall? Are our characters aware that they're being observed now? Is that what's happening?
Wouldn't that be interesting?
Giant
there's
polyhedral dice falls onto the land and rolls.
I am going to. There's two of you who will be receiving a quick private message of me on Discord. I'm not telling who will be the recipient.
I suspect it's the people who rolled the lowest.
No, it's probably people who rolled the highest, I bet.
No.
That would
I have
the most sense.
delivered a private message to two of you with just a little bit of information that you can add on to the description that I have given earlier.
So since we didn't die, Delphine, what are we doing after this god-awful mission?
How about taking a break?
Can we? Indulge me. Doing what? Paint me a picture.
Of what to do?
Yeah.
I think I'm the wrong person here to give like a good picture of what to do, like afterwards.
Do your best. I almost died.
Fancy that you
I
say that.
walk in.
Same.
Well,
I
you go
walk
and I'll
in.
go second.
Well, I'm like right there, so I'll just do you need some extra healing? I still have some healing potions in my backpack.
If we don't have time to take a break, let me take what I have.
I'm not sure when we will be able to rest properly in this place. Also, I wanted your advice, Rayn, as an arcane user. Is it possible that, despite having defeated these creatures, there's still some kind of enchantment lingering in this place? Maybe it's part of the realm, maybe it's...
We're dealing with aberrations. So yes, that is very likely. I say as I, still on the ground, just kind of go behind to my belt and pull out a regular potion. And while I'm answering Rebus, I uncork it and take a swig and get a whopping 5 hit points back.
I will also hand you the greater healing potion that I have, so you can have some more to go off of.
Thank
And I
you.
have some more that I offer to Delphine. I have some more regular potions. I don't know how many you will need. I just need them. I put them out of the bag, kind of like absent-mindedly, and I'm still looking at Dythun.
I will take one of the potions.
Who's still probably like by the body of the beholder. I don't know if I can't discern if this is my own perception or if this is Dythun being exposed to something. Because he got the closest to, well, he slayed the ball of eyes. But I think something's wrong with Dythun. His look, something doesn't...
Dythun, is something wrong with you?
You mean besides the fact that he is kind of like that since we stepped into this realm?
He just turns around. I mean, what's usually wrong with me?
I don't think much.
Everything.
Rude.
Fair.
Dythun, What is your modifier when making an attack with the chains?
Like the to hit
Yeah, what do you add to a d20?
+6.
Rebus, does a 23 beat your armor class?
Yeah.
The moment you call out to Dythun and Dythun turns around to humor you calling out, Rayn, the chains that are still partially wrapped around Dythun's arm extend a ridiculous amount, way longer than you think they should reach. And they go straight towards Rebus and smack them right in the face and then recoil like a viper after striking.
What was that about?
Do I have control of myself?
Dythun, you are taken completely by surprise. You did not make any move yourself. Your arm, your body didn't move. It was the chain moving completely.
But I'm like aware.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
You're completely in control of yourself. It is the chain that has done this.
He just looks down at the chains. What the hell? It's not part of the
I
agreement.
stand in front of Rayn and Delphine in case that happens again, so that at least it'll hit me.
Okay,
and not them.
seeing that and immediately like jumping up and seeing that Dythun didn't move, but only the chains apparently, like slowly refilling my gun.
Whoa.
Dythun, keep these chains under control, or I will detach your arm from your body. Since you don't want to let go of them.
I'm gonna see if I can like bring up that connection to the chains. What the hell is that about?
Didn't you see their eyes? You hear in your head. Mortal talking to you.
The robot. The faceplate. Yes, I see them. What do you...
There are secrets in there. Something slithered in.
Well, that wouldn't be the first time.
What do you mean?
I mean, this shit's happened a lot to almost all of us. You don't get to make decisions like that.
Oh. Like the decision I made when I aided you in the destruction of these aberrations? Lending my might to you? Did you not see how we cut through them, these monstrosities?
Yes, and do you not see how I pulled you from eternal torment and brought you on this grand adventure you wanted to be a part of?
You are wasting your time talking here. I smell more of them. The stench of Xoriat fills it, and I can hear her beckoning.
I don't know who she is or what they smell like, other than this fried one that smells like a bit like sushi, but...
Oh, that is just one of her million eyes. Never blinking, staring, watching.
Then we'll kill a million more of them, but not my friends. Or I'll take up Delphine's offer. Toss you into the river.
You see the chain actually. If at the end of the chain there was a head, it would now look like the end is like looking over at Delphine with her gun in hand. And then the chain lowers, and all of you can see how it starts wrapping itself around Dythun's arm and goes inanimate. And Dythun, you hear in your head, "Get a move on. We're on a hunt."
Rebus feels like a telepathic knock in their mind
Yes.
from Rayn. you all right?
I think so. I thought so.
That's
Well, I mean, I have some wear and tear, but is something not right?
well, I have chatted with the Murti within the chains, and they're very hell bent on fighting aberrations. Which, goody for us, but why
Oh,
you?
the
Was just
the
it's
chains thought that I was something to fight.
or it's just like a bit of a pissy fit and just lashing out like an adolescent might.
Is there any way we can know? I don't feel any different. I can you look?
Well, let me put it this way. You and I, while we are ourselves, once we're touched, it's not something that washes away.
Right.
But you and I are ourselves. The moment it does not, let me know. And I will expend what I can expend to do what I can, but
Okay.
my God, this is exhausting. We need to. Ugh. And I say out loud,
Could it-
"Help me up! Help me up!"
I grab one of the arms.
I
Um.
I click on my heels and just kind of drape myself over Rebus's back and do the floaty thing and act like Rebus's cape. Like there's almost no weight on you.
That's
Mm.
all right. I can keep you here. That's okay.
That way. And I point towards
So-
Dythun and the
Yeah,
Dungeon of Doom.
yeah, and also I'm looking to Vola. So, what is the plan now?
Vola was just busy pulling herself back up on her staff and also just stepping out of the way of a magical chain weapon being flung across the territory. And she looks to you, Delphine, and says, "Initially, my plan was to check on the outer seals, but," she gestures to the completely blasted apart gateway ahead of you. "But those seals are gone."
I mean,
Some
then you checked on them, basically.
Technically, yes. The problematic thing is, since the outer seals are gone, those were the seals I knew about. I was given the task of maintaining the outer seals. The task of maintaining the inner seals and the inner sanctum is given to the more experienced gatekeepers, and it is actually seen as a very honorable duty to be interred inside of the complex.
So, in the macabre sense, I say out loud, we have an ally inside we can meet up with.
Maybe, if they are still alive.
That way.
Wait. And she looks at all of you. You have seen these creatures here, right?
No. Didn't it I thought it was all in our dreams. That surprises me right now.
Sarcasm will not save us. I am honestly worried. Are you aware what you are charging into?
Does that change the fact that we have to charge it nonetheless?
I mean, are you offering us right now, like, so, oh yeah, if you don't want to, you don't need to go in there.
I mean, it is not. This complex is my duty. And I'm already grateful that you aided me in the Kubara swamps and with these monstrosities here, but you are not duty bound or anything to aid me.
I mean, she is right. We can go. I don't mind.
we may not be duty bound to aid you, Vola. Some of us have different callings and happen to align. So, I, for one, would appreciate a guide inside, please. I need to be in there.
All right. I must warn you, I'm not entirely familiar with the insides. I know the general layout, and I know what was kept in there. Well, not entirely, but I can be a guide in the sense that you wouldn't go in entirely blind. But I don't want to make any too big promises that I know every single room in there, like the back of my hand. But if there's also this, well, if there's someone else that broke in here, they might also be in danger, which...
Good for them.
The person that broke in is our charge, is our problem, and needs to be removed. You want them removed. Your spiral well is in danger.
Very well then. She taps her staff on the ground, and there's a bit of light on top of it again. 30 outer seals. We'll be heading into the breach chamber. Stay close. She walks into the darkness beyond this blown apart, once very tall stone doorway that is now just ruins and debris.
Let us... Right?
Is this like chamber hallway like wide enough for 2 people?
Actually, you could... This hallway at this point is still wide enough to walk 3 people next to each other, 3 people abreast to each other. So you could... 2 people is no problem.
Dythun is up front next to Vola.
Okay.
Okay, Delphine is last.
And Rayn is a cape for Rebus.
All right. You wander into this hallway, and as Vola enters, first, it feels as if you're stepping into pitch black darkness. The light, whatever kind of light is still on the outside, seems to not be allowed in here. And for a moment, all of your sight is blackened. But then you hear a soft tap sound. And the little light on the top of Vola's staff knocks against one of the walls. And in regular intervals, little pieces of stone start to glow at the top of the hallway, illuminating the steps ahead of you. But as you continue, the lights turn off again, so that there's only darkness behind you, but your next step ahead of you is illuminated. Your footsteps echo in this hallway, and you can hear from further ahead rumbling, stone grinding against stone in the distance, water rushing somewhere and then vanishing again. But most of all, you hear the screams. Far away, echoing from different corners, screams in different pitches, low, high, some of them from the back of throats, some of them prolonged and just deformed by some kind of warped Doppler effect. And for some, right next to you, into your ears, out of nowhere, a scream, just for it to vanish again. No source of this noise. At last, after a walk that felt both like 10 minutes and 10 days, you stand in front of a door. Another stone door, not as large as the one at the entrance once was. And this one is smaller. And the door is not blown apart. It is slightly ajar. But still, you can see on the edges of the door marks of what must have been either some kind of explosives or maybe explosive magic that was used to bang the door open. Vola stops there. She checks the carvings, the runes next to the door. And she says, "This is it. This is the breach chamber." In these kind of complexes, usually close to the entrance, there is a chamber that has necessary equipment to deal with any kind of emergency that transpires in here. Maybe, if we're lucky, there's some Bayeshk in there.
Is that your ally? Your lucky ally?
Bayeshk is an ally to all who fight aberrations from Xoriat. And she looks at you and says, "It is a material, a metal. Bayeshk is found in the deeper parts of the earth. And we gatekeepers, we seek it and trade with others to create weapons and armor from it. It's a material that burns the people of Xoriat."
Do you have some of that metal on you?
"I have not been bestowed with one yet, but," and she points over to Dythun, "you have some of it yourself."
Well, you know, we're all for the enemy of the aberrations, great. And you know the saying, fight fire with fire?
I do.
What if someone is fighting aberrations with a bit of aberrant flavor or staining? You know, considering all the planes we've touched, and there might...
Are you saying that someone wants to fight Xoriat with its own power?
Willingly or not?
That would be madness. Folly. Xoriat does not take allies.
No, it does not.
Vola, with that, turns back to the door, and she notices that it's been ajar, and she, like, carefully puts her staff against it, and just really carefully opens it.
Is there anyone potentially around spying on us as we're having our little hushed whispers?
While you do still feel this feeling that someone or something is watching you all the time, from what you can tell with your senses available to you, there is no one here currently except your party and Vola.
Well then.
She opens the door and once again taps her staff on the wall inside of the room, and some of these stones in the room glow again and illuminate the room ahead of you. It's a fairly small room, like maybe just 20 by 20 feet to a side. Fairly, like, it looks mostly rectangular, but you can see that whoever made this room wasn't using any kind of leveler or ruler to really get the corners exactly right. There's also parts of the ceiling, you can actually see roots growing through the ceiling of whatever kind of plants were on the outside. Though, coming from the outside, you didn't see any kind of significant trees or something on top of this building. You see that there is a cabinet on one wall, which has been bursted open. And there was what looks like a fitting in that cabinet that had a circular opening. And right next to it is another fitting. And in that, you see in the cabinet, stored safely, like neatly fitting in there, is this what looks, and especially someone like the people among you who have some experience in blacksmithing and forging materials, there's a longsword there. And it has a lot of dents, and the blade isn't properly processed. The hilt is quickly wrapped. It doesn't look properly made, but what takes you, what catches all of your attention is that the blade itself has a bit of a purplish shimmer to it in the light. And it reminds you kind of to the kind of shimmer that the chains of Mortal tend to have from time to time.
I'd like to use my mage hand to just pick it up.
All right. You pull it out of the cabinet, and the sword. Vola steps back as there's just like a sword now being swung around in the air here. And she says, interesting. Whoever got in here took the Bayeshk shield, but left the sword.
Maybe someone's stature prevented them from being an effective sword wielder.
You're talking about this person that you know.
Yes.
Mm.
Oh, and when we run into that person, it is a gnomish woman, noble birth, fond of machinery, has some magic capabilities, likes to hear herself talk.
Now, when we say we are responsible for this person, we hold no kinship to them. We are responsible for...
Putting them down.
Yes.
Actually,
Stopping
talking
at her,
about-
at least.
yeah, I mean, talking about that, do we wanna arrange everything that it looks like, or could have been an accident, or are we just going there, like, getting rid of her for good?
Oh no, she accidentally lost her head.
Oh no, how could that happen?
We're the good guys, by the way, Vola.
Sometimes.
Yes. And she's taken aback by this conversation, and then looks out. Wait, there's something else here in this room. The breach chambers. They have the Bayeshk weaponry. They have the documentation and the seals. The seals. And she taps the staff against another wall. And at the end of the short room, there was still this part of wall that was partially covered in shadows. And as she taps her staff against the wall again, you see now that there's lights glowing on the other side of the room as well. And there is a completely circular gateway there that is surrounded by a ring of runes. 5 runes in total. 3 of these symbols are glowing currently. 2 of them are not. One of the 3 that is glowing is actually flickering like an old light bulb just moments away from dying. And Vola looks at it and goes like, no. And she walks over there and she's like now completely focused on that gateway, like mumbling to herself, checking the symbols, pulling out a notebook and everything. And it's almost as if she forgot about all of you in the room.
Are there any other of the anti-aberration metal things around?
There's just this one cabinet where you pulled the Bayeshk sword out of.
I keep thinking Beskar.
This is the way. And but you do see there is also in the room there is a little what looks like a little safe box, a little chest. No lock on it. And Vola didn't check that yet.
But she mentioned documentation.
yeah.
Right.
Rayn, how about you give that sword to Rebus? They might be might have a bit more use of that.
I float the sword down to Rebus's side and see if there's like a little notch to just like stick it in, like so it's on Rebus's hip. And then if Rebus is okay with that, then I want to look at the box and I just want to have it fly open.
You want to
That should work.
You want to look at the box, Rain, and you just you want to use the mage hand to fling it open.
A mage hand does not have any verbal or somatic.
That is true.
Just
That
look
is
at it
true.
and it happens.
Yeah. You look at it, and you look at the box, and your mage hand just flings it open. And as you fling it open, you hear a click in the box, and Vola turns around from the circular gateway, and she's about to say something, but before we can hear what she says, I need all of you in the room to make a Constitution saving throw, please.
Man.
Cool. That's what I wanted to hear.
We're all huddled around.
Yes, you're all near enough to Delphine to get that sweet +2 bonus to your saving throw.
Is there some kind of sleep magic?
No.
Yeah.
And it's also not being charmed or frightened or
Okay, cool.
23 for Dythun.
23 for Dythun.
28 for Rayn.
Jeez, nice.
Holy.
13 for Rebus.
20 for Delphine.
Rebus. 20 for Delphine. Okay.
Is it poison?
No, it is not poison.
Okay.
No, it is not.
Going through all our
And going through the
resistances.
I need to know if I have advantage, you know.
Yeah, that's why we're
Because I
asking.
rolled a
That's
3.
Is it athletics?
Squeeze your lungs.
I'm
with the
rolling
muscle.
so badly. This session, all of the rolls have been like 3 or less. so
Where are the
far.
kitty cats? Where are the kitty cats? Serial needs the kitty
Okay.
cats.
The chest goes open. There is this sudden sonic boom that just goes out from the chest, fills the entire room, shakes the cabinet, and takes Rebus in full force. And Rebus, you take 40 points of thunder damage. And
Fuck.
the rest of you takes 20 points of thunder damage.
Hey, Rayn, how's it going?
I'm alive.
Oh, you're good. Thunder damage?
Go fly
Thunder.
across the room, land my back and just like scratch around on the floor, and like some parts of my armor and my plates are like no longer attached to me. Like they've just scattered. I just put a hand on the floor and try to make sure that like my glaive is still there, the sword that Rayn just gave me, and I try to stand up and start to like bend some of the parts in shape that are like preventing me from moving properly. What was that?
We're not aberrations.
Just saying, from that shit, Delphine probably got smashed against the wall, and she's out.
Spare the dying.
Yeah,
Reach there. Ugh.
The quickest spare to dying in the West. Bum. And Vola has also been like poof, blasted and is just holding on one leg. And she goes, holding on to her staff. There's important documentation in these boxes. We seal them. We lock them with spells. You can't just go around opening them like
do
that.
you lock them with spells? Hey, that would have been useful information to say entering the room. Don't touch the other shit.
I was busy also checking over here if whatever we have stuck in here is currently on its way of breaking out. So cut me some slack over here. I'm sorry.
just gonna drink the potions of healing that I have
I'm going
while
to
this is
pop
happening.
one to
because-
to Delphine as well. A regular.
You know, Dythun sees Rayn doing this. You know, if she's unconscious, she can't object to taking a rest. I'm just saying.
We have time. This is, Delphine gets back 7
7.
HP, and I will give myself a greater.
Okay. I'm imagining people just popping out their potions and
Imagine
making
having
sure to.
healing potions.
Vola,
There goes the buffer I had.
Oops.
Ouch.
Vola actually wanders over to Rebus, and she sees Rebus who has been flung across the room, and is just quickly puts a hand on them, and there is some more druidic healing magic that flows into Rebus, and they restore 14 hit points from that. 1-4, not 4-0, but 1-4. And Vola then looks over to the chest. Well, it is open now, and there's a documentation in there.
Is there a trap under the papers?
There's not papers. She wanders over to this little safe box, and she lifts out what looks like a beautifully cut diamond in a bit of a very, if you would extend a D10 more into a diamond shape, and especially for Rebus, you got back 14 hit points from Vola. Especially for a proficient spellcaster like Rayn, you would know what this is. This is probably a spell shard, which is basically a fancy version of a spell book, which is usually used by spellcasters to store their spells in. And Vola looks at it as look, I just need to access this, and that's where she looks at it. Hands it over to Rayn.
Okay, while this is happening, I'm taking another small healing as well, like a common.
Yeah, gotcha. Rayn, you have this spell shard in your hand now. And you do know how these work. You have seen this before. There's also where you're from. Spell shards are also a very popular way of not just storing spells, but any kind of knowledge. Basically, you can just put memories and explanations in them, and whoever holds the shard and focuses on it can extract that from the shard. Is that something you want to do with that shard?
Yeah. And while I have the shard, I'm going to also minor illusion. Is it this very small, fuzzy, almost like flipping channels of everything going through Rayn's mind.
Gotcha. So you hold the shard up and make this minor illusion, this slideshow of what you're seeing. You open your mind to the memories in there. And shortly after, there is just this disorienting barrage of visions that floods into your mind. Like you're seeing years of events passing within just seconds. What you're seeing clearly takes place, what looks like it takes place in this room. You are moving with the speed of a bird back and forward through this room, every corner, but then also move into rooms that you haven't seen yet, rooms that might be adjacent to this one. And eventually you return to this room, and you're now looking at the wall with the circular gateway, with all of these 5 runes on it glowing. And then one by one, these going out. And there's a figure, a tall, orcish figure standing in front of them. And just, you hear that figure say, no, 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 no. And as that memory fills you, can you give me a wisdom saving throw, please?
Hopefully, Delphine adjacent.
Delphine is near enough for...
Near enough and alive.
and alive.
That is 16
16.
total.
As you see this orcish figure in your vision, the figure turns towards you as if it's looking at you, aware of you there. And then this figure tries to reach out for you, but is pulled through the gateway behind them away. And you are pulled out of the spell shard. But you have the clear feeling that you have not seen everything that's in the spell shard yet.
You see like this very fuzzy, almost playback of the orcish figure looking surprised at the viewer, looking at the minor illusion, and turning towards the glowing portal, and they get sucked out.
And Vola looks at that figure, and she goes, "The Guardian." And that's where we're going to take a first break for today. We're going to be back at about 17 past the hour. So use the chance to stretch your legs, take your meds, drink some water, and not get lost in a temple filled with things from another plane of existence. We'll see you soon, and see you in a few minutes. Hello, and welcome back to the second part of today's Convergence Manifesto session. In the first part, the party made sure that Rayn didn't die again. There were some chains that made their own decisions, and the party entered a very dark, creepy temple complex that used to hold some entity, but who knows what has happened with that? Are these seals still sealed? Are the chains still chained? We're about to find out. As Gatekeeper Vola, the orc druid that is accompanying the party, seems to have recognized a minor illusion of a person that Rayn saw while extracting memories from a spell shard. An orcish figure. And Vola says, "The Guardian. That looked like the last Guardian that took up the mantle here."
I will, having finished the my own batch of healing potions now, I'm going to just walk over to Vola, who I assume was still standing, went back to the gate. What needs to be done? Where can I assist? And I do pocket the diamond
For that, actually,
in front of her.
could you give me a slight? You're not even trying to hide it. It's
No.
like you just.
I say, like, where can I assist while I'm putting things away?
She looks at you and says, "That is not yours to keep. There is information of our order in there."
So we should leave it here behind with the trap triggered.
No, you should hand it over to me.
I will. Now, what should I do?
I hate just like screaming, "Can I insight check this person?" But I don't really know any other how to word it.
Inside check.
But
No.
Do it.
Dythun
Sense motive.
Dythun is curious, like, does Vola seem like she's actually supposed to be here? Because he's tired of just everything.
Right.
He's tired of people betraying him. He's tired of people getting mind controlled. He's tired of people dying.
Tired of any kind of betrayal, backstabbing, and unexpected turncoats.
Mm-hmm.
That absolutely warrants an insight check. Could you run me an insight check, please?
Okay, Curtis. Curtis likes me. It's a 19.
This time.
19. Like you just said, Dythun is just tired of the hidden things, the plotting, the betrayals, and definitely going by the behavior of Vola. There are a few like red flags that might be raised here, but taking your time to really look at your behavior, you get the impression that she is just really nervous. And if anything, she doesn't belong here because she feels like she's not worthy to be here.
Okay.
Like she hasn't been. This feels like the way that she, like you saw her earlier, like very carefully touch the runes of these places, almost like has respect for them. The way she knew where to put her staff on the walls to ignite the lights and everything shows some familiarity with the place, but the careful walk she has, and also now the jitters she's projecting, just shows that she feels like she's not trained enough to be here.
Okay. Fair enough.
And she looks at Rayn and just lets the spell shard thing slide for now. What I need, are you familiar with druidic magic? The power of nature.
I can be a quick study.
These glyphs here, they are indicators of the seals that are paramount to this complex to work. It is the Guardian's task to maintain the seals, to maintain the incantations, and fend off incursions. Xoriat can never be truly sealed. Entities of Xoriat, they always find ways of worming themselves out, and if a place, if a complex is not maintained, no matter how good your seal is, it will break. It needs someone to maintain it. The Guardian is then supposed to do the rituals every so many years to work here until they complete their duty. You see that some of these glyphs are not glowing. That means that something has disrupted the crystals that power them. Or they haven't been maintained properly, and 2 of them are completely out. One of them is starting to go out. And I see severe damage to this gateway here. Someone was trying to brute force themselves through it, but didn't succeed so far yet. So if that's your friend, she's probably still somewhere around here and brute forcing through other things. But whatever she does, there's more symbols that go out, more bindings that break.
What do we do?
There's specific rooms with the crystals linked to these symbols.
Okay.
We need to go to those rooms. First, we need the keys first.
Okay.
Yes, there's a room where the Guardian would keep the keys. And with those keys, I can reignite the crystals.
You will be supported in this endeavor. I believe that room is, if Rayn rolls her eyes back and tries to think about the fast movies she saw, which you know where they are.
You get actually, even though you just saw it in flashes, as you recall, it's like you perfectly recall that memory as if you've been there. And when she says the key room, you know exactly where it is. You know you would have to walk out of this room down the hallway, basically, and you know where it is. You can perfectly describe to her where it is.
Then we'll follow you.
I'm sorry for being so nervous.
Let me see that staff of yours.
She hands it over.
Give it a look over. Anything? It's a druidic staff, so either the player knows there's probably innate magics or something.
Yeah.
Something that pops out to Rayn, more than just this is a spell-focused staff. That is magical.
It seems to be carved out of one single long branch, and most of the motifs on here are very dinosaur related. You see various kinds of dinosaurs that you find in various parts of the continent. It feels very personalized in that way.
Rayn thinks back on the Triton basic training that she went through, as her clan is particularly militaristic in that regard, and her twin brother, records broken, top of the class. Rayn struggled to get to the top, but she was towards the top, but the disappointment of the B+. Oh my god. So looks it over, does a quick flourish, and before handing it back, remembering what probably an instructor did to her more than once, make sure that the back of the cane whips the back of Vola's head, get it together, dunk.
Just so back of her, Lead the way.
No, you lead the way.
Hey,
She tries to
Vola,
take
I don't know if you understand this yet. The old Guardian, they're somewhere else. As far as we know, you're the only Guardian here, so this is your charge now. Is that not how this works? Unless it's mine, I can take it.
No. You're all right. You're right. She tries to take the staff again.
It's released.
Takes it. She looks over at Rebus. Rebus, are you good enough to continue?
Well, I don't think we have much of a choice. I am not in my best condition, but I'm all right, I think.
Okay. Well, follow me then. We're going to the key room.
We're going to the
And
key
from
room.
there, we can get the keys we need to get access to the crystals we need to recharge. Stay close.
We shall. And it's Rayn's intention to absolutely let Vola lead. But because we are on a timeline, if Vola is taking long or seems to start turning towards the wrong way, Rayn will do a correction. But if there's no correction needed, none will be given.
As Vola leads you through the hallway, there are moments where she hesitates briefly, where to go. But right before Rayn can give these corrections, she seems to find the way herself. And she just mutters to herself, right, no, it should be there because the places are laid out like this. And blah, blah. You also get the idea that she's using some kind of
Grounding
ways to
herself?
recall.
Like grounding
Yeah,
herself?
Yeah, she's grounding herself, but she's also using like ways of recalling information, like mnemonic devices to recall certain information and keep herself oriented.
Her,
And
her mind
eventually,
palace is one of these temples.
and as she wanders, and again, it feels like for you in the memories you saw, Rayn, you have not really any kind of indication how far these places are apart. You know the way there, but you have no indication of how far they are apart. So the party keeps walking, and at one point, Vola seems to get calmed down a little bit. Yes, of course, you can hear distant screaming all around you. This place is a mess and everything, but considering the circumstances, she seems to be kind of grounding herself and calming down. And eventually she starts making a bit of small talk with the party. And as she leads, she like talks over her shoulder and says, all of you act like you have experience with these kind of places. You don't seem to be... You hardly seem to be startled by all of this.
I
This
mean,
is-
go ahead.
Is this the worst one we've seen? Really sure.
The approach to the Mabar portal was particularly unlucky.
I think everyone has their own thing that they think is the worst, or
No,
was the worst.
But that was pretty bad. I mean, I only heard the description of the bone golem. We saw the bone golem, and that was it was in a good mood. It could have not been in a good mood. And then there were those screaming things. Oh, it's always the screaming things. That's what it is.
By the way, when you left, Bone Golem, not in a good mood.
It was kind of cute.
I think it missed you.
It's a shame.
To answer your question, we've done this a few times.
And you have experiences with the other planes. I mean, you mentioned this earlier when we met as well, that you were drawn into this. You didn't seek this out, this planar adventures.
I mean, first not, then yes, and then kind of like, yeah, we cannot get back. Okay.
I see. I've kind of trained all of my life just for understanding the dangers of the plane of Xoriat. Can't imagine having to also learn too much about the other planes.
Oh, I don't learn anything about them. I hardly know anything about this one.
I mean,
No,
Xoriat
sadly,
Go ahead.
oh yeah, just wanted to comment that sadly we probably do not know as much as we would like to know for the experience that we have had. But I think some people call it street smarts. So
Vola smirks. Street smarts. Huh.
we do not have encyclopedic knowledge, but we have experience traveling those planes, and as arduous as it has been sometimes, we're all still here.
Remember the time Rebus impersonated an inevitable?
Yes.
Oh yeah, that was actually kind of fun.
Vola stops at that as you mentioned inevitable. You're joking.
Well, like I didn't. We didn't have many other options, and I'm pretty sure by now, Tuvok Tool has forgiven us, right? I mean, me. You don't.
There's
Think-
certainly
yeah.
something Tuvok has towards Rebus.
Vola Vola stands still, leaning on her staff and just rubbing her eyes. You're joking.
Why would we be resorting to humor in this situation? I don't understand.
I don't know much about the other planes, but I do know that when inevitables are involved, they're there to correct mistakes, things that should not happen, things that go against a certain perfect order, cosmic law.
Mm-hmm.
You know, whenever they talk to us, they won't shut up about order.
I don't think I should continue this line of questioning, but I'm not sure if I should feel more safe or less safe knowing this, being
Well, if
with
you
all
ever
of you.
want to vent about extraplanar forays, you're in the right group.
Oh, the wrong one. And Delphine takes out her Everfoot bottle and takes a swig before putting it away.
The wrong one. I mean, Xoriat is like one of the most is the taboo one of them all. That's pretty cool. Like Rayn says, is genuinely like that's pretty cool.
As you're all having this conversation while you're walking, could I have
No.
a perception check from all of you, please?
Oh no.
How many-
Oh wow, yeah. Yeah, that's my thing. Just plain perception checks, yes, sorry.
That's I see an 8 from for Rayn. What did Delphine get?
22, that's my max. I rolled that 20
Nice.
on that.
Nice. And what did Rebus get?
Did really badly. 8.
8. And for Dythun, who, if I'm not mistaken, has advantage on perception checks,
23.
23. So, while you're having this conversation, maybe Rayn and Rebus are also very focused on this part about Tuvok Tool and
There is
dealing with
totally
Manifesto.
a minor illusion of Tufexul face, but they have like the ooh blush on overlaid on their face.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that certainly is a distracting thing to see.
No
That explains
respect.
the lower rolls there. But Dythun and Delphine, the D&D of this group in this D&D game, you have, while you're walking, both of you notice that you're stepping into something. There is, underneath your boots, just the slightest slimy sheen of slimy ichor. And it forms a trail that is heading towards a room with an open stone door.
We have some light here, so we can see what it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
So can I basically investigate that? What it is?
You can. You have the light to see it. Are you
Like-
just
like
going
all-
to?
No, also kneeling down, taking a bit with the fingers, smelling it,
Okay.
like, okay, checking it out basically.
You take a little bit with your fingers, which I'm assuming, Delphine, you're wearing gloves, right?
Yes.
Of course, that's part of rocking the pirate style. You cannot rock the pirate style.
Well,
without
on the one hand having gloves and over not.
that is the pirate style. Well, with your gloved hands, you pick up some of the goo, and you've had encounters with oozes before. This party had a few with them, and you know that oozes would have a more like acidic slime they might leave behind. You would have noticed on your gloves that part of the leather of your gloves might have sizzled and burned. But as you pick up this goo, that doesn't happen. It's just very icky and sticky. But as you hold it between your fingers, you get the sensation that you hear something coming from your fingers. Like very low whispers. And you get the idea that if you would lean in or hold your fingers up to your ears, you could understand what they're saying.
I know this is a bad thing. I'm I'm doing that.
Dythun, like, seeing the ooze on the ground and, like, seeing Delphine doing something, he's gonna, like, reach a hand out to stop Vola. Like, is this supposed to be here?
Don't forget to de-shrimp and drink up.
Oh, what? De-shrimping.
De-shrimping.
I'm just too comfortable in my shrimp state.
No.
But Delphine might not be comfortable long, as she holds up the fingers with the slime to her ears, and you just hear this a voice going, 220 times 4, 220 times 5, 220 times 99, 220, 220, 220, 220 square, 220 root, 220 free. That fulfills the beatbox.
As soon I was like, "Beatbox, quick, quick."
I agree to disagree.
And what you hear that, Delphine, and you, Dythun, you hold back Vola. And with that holding back, I would also assume that the rest of the party sees what's going on here. Is there anyone in the party who is A, proficient in Arcana? I think we have someone in the party, but B, has at least a +8 to Arcana.
I've got a -1.
No, I don't have a +8 to Arcana.
Someone can get punched and I can give myself advantage on the roll.
Rebus, think fast.
Rayn. Can you roll me an Arcana check?
Well, let me try to finagle something. In the battle where we first encountered Vola, there were other aberrations. And
True.
Rayn conjured a spell, which is calling forth this inky, sticky, black ichor of doom. And I tried to describe that she, in essence, almost swallowed one of the aberrations during the battle, because that was what finished it off.
Mm-hmm.
Because Rayn has recently learned how to call on aberrations as her allies.
Oh.
With that recent knowledge, would that give me an edge in knowing more about this goo?
It would
Roll for goop.
help you if you knew what this goo is. It would help you.
I don't know. That's why we're going through this.
But in this specific situation, no. But maybe you could summon an aberration that can help you identify it.
I don't think this is what that aberration is meant to do.
Yeah, just let me quickly check that spell. Summon aberration.
Is an ally.
Mm-hmm.
It's more of a combat friend.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Do we want a fun? No. Rayn would be hesitant to do this because she knows that. I don't think she's made it clear that she herself is Xoriat touched in this regard, and I think this is probably not a good time to like. Oh, by the way, so she's gonna hold off and try to make that Arcana roll.
Make that Arcana roll.
Llama die. Llamas.
Llama die.
Come on. Well, hey, that's pretty good. Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. You look at that goo and you see that since it's forming a trail on the ground, it must be coming off some kind of creature that probably is made of it or is covered in it. From your homework that you did, especially with the book that you've been given by your mother before you came here, there were several potential typical aberrations that could have this kind of goo, but there is only rare. It would be a very low chance that this would be from a kind of aberration that is known as an Acleu, and an Acleu is, from what you knew, what you learned from the book that you got from your mother, a completely translucent aberration in which you can see its organs flowing around, and that is usually not capable to even exist on the material plane if it is too far away from a manifest zone of Xoriat, because it is so bound to the lack of structure and logic of Xoriat that it has a hard time even existing in the material plane.
Rayn kind of looks down and inspects it as well and holds up her finger, and this very staticky, fuzzy image, minor illusion image. And aesthetic and fast, it's fuzzy and staticky because she herself is not so clear on those details. But she tries to kind of project a visual of what that is, and it's just kind of reforming. She's like, no, the sack went on the, you can see, it just keeps shifting around.
Vola looks at that as she's also been stopped by Dythun. Looks at that flickery image. Not really sure what she's looking at, but she's looking then back at Dythun. Well, whatever this is, I have to admit I don't know what it is. It's going into the room we have to go to. That's the key room.
A clue? A clo?
Acleu? Oh,
Isn't it?
I think that is very unlikely. Acleos, they really need the presence of Xoriat to exist. And some of the seals here are broken, and there's a lingering presence of Xoriat here as well, but Acleos, they need the full presence of the plane.
And this is what you believe to be a lack of the plane, or a limited presence, or a limitation of its current presence? Because this feels rather strong for a limitation.
Well, then you should see what this place could become if more seals and working. Cleos are... I have only learned about them from ancient history of our order. It's the kind of things that the goblins of the Dakani Empire fought. They have not been seen here on our plane in ages.
Is it a typical thing for their slime to have to be talking?
They do share whispers. Yes.
We're going to that room? Running to the door.
And just forming like the slime is basically whispering.
Let's take up let's pose defensively. And maybe ask your slappy companion Dythun about it.
He's gonna let the chains like unravel a bit, and just kind of touch the ground. Hey, what's that?
The chains make a bit of a squishy sound as they fall in there. And you hear Mortal's voice in your head. Oh. Now that is the remains, the trails of a fine foe. I've torn many of these apart. Whirled the chains about, a dance of destruction and success. Bathing in the slime and ooze these Acleos leave behind.
Yes, it's those. It's in that room. He walks over to the door and kicks it open.
Rayn starts hovering above.
You walk over to that door, and you notice that you're about to kick the door open, but it is already open.
Oh,
And
man.
you look into this room. Again, another fairly small room, but on the left and right side as you enter, there's just still these faintly glowing symbols carved into the ground, faintly prismatic glow over them. The room itself is fairly dim, and you see just in the dim light, also from the light that's in here and from the runes that are glowing, at the end of the room, there is what looks like a statue, and there are 4 keyholes in it, but only 2 keys are in the keyholes. And Dythun, as you are entering, like trying to kick open the door, but door's already open, could you give me another perception check, which you have advantage on?
And
Otherwise, I would have given you advantage.
I will remind you, Dythun has blind sight for 10 feet.
And also for 10 feet, right?
Dirty 20 perception.
And blind side, right?
10 feet.
You go into that room. You know that scene from Alien where the xenomorph is on the ceiling and you just have like the acid dripping down? You step into the room, you look around, you see all that I described, but then you also hear like this bloop, bloop. And you look up and you see stuck to the ceiling is this vaguely humanoid shape made out of translucent goo. You see its few bones and organs that vaguely make up a humanoid skeleton just floating around in it. Its head is turned 180 degrees towards you, and there is this collection of shattered skull pieces that float around in it, but its maw is drawn open and some of that goo drips out. And forming inside its mouth are these fleshy remains that start to shape into a tongue. And while you look up at that, the rest of the party still outside of the room, you hear that screaming that you've been hearing all around you suddenly rush closer towards you. And quick movements over the stony floor. You cannot see yet what it is, but you just hear something is approaching fast. Vola looks around, and she's just like, "Shit, let's get into the room. Let's go all into the room."
Dythun is gonna put his shield to the door ready to change and just yell, "Fire now!"
And
Fire.
we, at this point, going to take our second break for today, so
Oh,
we
boy.
can go and set up combat, because you set something up here. I got to do a little bit of an alien homage here, and we're just going to quickly take a second break for today. We'll be back at about 5 past the hour to see what is dangling on the ceiling, what is coming rushing for
I-
the party,
Oh god.
and how this is all going to turn out. Back in 10 minutes. See you
Amazing.
soon.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Pain and suffering.
We're back! Pain and suffering,
Bruh.
dice rolls, action and combat for our last part of today's session of the Convergence Manifesto. Our party members are further exploring this complex that seems to hold some kind of entity from the plane of Xoriat. And as they have been following a slimy trail, Dythun has had a close encounter with a slimy creature dangling from a ceiling. And the party has heard screaming and fastly approaching creatures coming their way. It is time we have, in our break, taken a chance to set up our combat map, our initiative order, and we are going to do some fighting. It is the top of round 1, and at the top of initiative, we have Rebus. What would you like to do?
Okay, I gently unlatched Rayn's hands from around my clavicle to say, "One moment, Miss Rayn. I wouldn't want your fingers to get trapped." And so the plates start shifting, some steam comes out, and I will move already in there to where Dythun was kind of, holding a defensive position. Is there any light in this room?
There is only light coming from these, you see to the left and the right, these magic symbols that have a bit of a prismatic
Okay,
glow.
but dim light, but can I see
You
what
can,
okay. I can see the thing.
yes.
Alright, then how far is it above us?
It's currently about, it was at the edges of Dythun's blind sight. So it's dangling about 10 feet above you.
Okay, that is fine. I'll just jump. I can reach it with my glaive, so
Yeah.
I finished transforming, and this time instead of a tail made of cables, my faceplate retracts, and some metallic teeth start whirring in my face cavity, and I activate the bestial muzzle, the form of the beast bite.
Yes.
And I would like to. I just want to try it. Let me know if this would work. But I would like to use my glaive as a pole and try and jump and bite the creature.
Your glaive has reach, but your bite attack does not have reach. So you can make the attack with the glaive, but as long as the creature is on the ceiling, you cannot reach it with the bite attack.
Well, I wanted to know if I could jump to hit it, but I don't know how much I'm able to jump.
I think that making that as part of the attack, I would say no, you can't do the bite attack there.
Then I'll attack with the glaive. That's fine.
All right.
I'll poke it.
Cool. Can you make that attack roll with disadvantage, please?
Yes. Well, no, because I'll do it reckless.
Oh, perfect.
So then it's flat. Yeah.
That's flat.
24 to hit.
24. Yeah, that hits.
Okay. That's 10 points of slashing damage.
your glaive cuts into the creature and into the goo it's made of, but you notice that where your glaive cuts, it feels as if it holds back some of the impact from your glaive. It doesn't do the full damage to this creature.
Okay, well, try again, I guess.
Swing away. Oh,
Disadvantage this time because reckless only
Actually,
is the
because-
first attack, I think.
because you hit it, what you do notice, since you hit it now with the first attack, you see that its form becomes a little bit more solid. You have an easier time hitting it now, as you know where you're slashing.
Okay, so just flat as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Normal attack. 23.
Oh yeah, that is roll damage.
Alright. Ooh, 14 points of slashing.
14. And also that, even though you hit, it feels like it's resisting some of that damage.
Mm-hmm. And that's that for now.
That's
I
that
use
for
my
now?
bonus for raging, and yeah, I use my movement. So
Gotcha. All right.
actually, I will move.
Oh.
I will move on this side so that if my companions need to see properly, I'm not in the way.
Perfect. Move a little bit further ahead.
I know the creature
then-
is above, but you know.
Exactly. That does bring us to Dythun's turn.
Wonderful. I'm going to attack it with the chains.
Go ahead and attack with the chains.
You said it's like 10-foot reach, right?
Yeah.
I'm assuming if I move there, I can hit it.
Exactly.
Perfect. That's was it dirty 20? Yeah, dirty 20.
Oh, that hits.
If I want to spend one of the chains charges, do I have to declare that before I attack?
Remind me again, what does that charge do? if
It
you want?
increases the reach of an attack by 5 feet, and if it hits, they have to succeed on a strength check.
I would say that since this was something that would increase the reach, I'd say you would have to declare it before you make the attack.
Okay, well, I'm gonna attack twice, so the next one will be that. But this
Perfect.
one was 4 damage.
4. And you notice, like, you saw Rebus's attacks, like, not fully impacting, but the attacks from the chain, they hit fully. They just start smacking away parts of the goo of this creature.
Nice. Second attack, same as the first. It actually same as the first, dirty 20.
And you did use the charge on that second attack?
Yes, I did.
All right. So you can roll the damage, and it also has to make a strength saving throw.
Yes, DC, where to go, 12.
DC 12.
4.
19.
Just barely. That's 7 points of damage from the chains.
7 points of damage as it cuts in there and drips more of that goo on top of you. Anything else on your turn while you're standing underneath this creature?
No, I think he's gonna hold ground here.
Hold the ground there, and that brings us over to Rayn. Rayn, as you're standing out in the hallway, you heard this screaming approaching, and you can now see in the hallway, flanking you and Delphine, these small, almost looked as if they have been stitched together out of different kinds of flesh, creatures with mouth wide open, howling a mixture of screams and laughter at you, with their eyes looking into different directions.
Oh, fuck off, both of you. Rayn will say it loudly enough so anyone didn't know they were out there now knows we're dealing with something that's both of them. How high is the ceiling?
10 feet.
Rayn goes 10 feet up. And we're going to remembering what Dythun had said, fire. I'm like, where to? And Rayn is just gonna cross arms and shoot fire, shoot magic in both directions. So first, we're gonna do a quicken spell
Uh-huh.
at this fucker over here, since I'm over.
Uh-huh.
Chromatic orb, first level. Let's fire that. Yeah, that's math. 17 plus 8.
Yeah, that hits.
3d8, 1d8, 1, 2, 3. Here we go. Ah! Nervous rolling. 8 plus 5, 13 fire damage.
Burn into them.
So fire comes out of one arm, and out of the other arm, I point up at the disgusting thing on the ceiling that Dythun and Rebus are engaged with. And I am casting as a bonus action a cantrip that was Frostbite. I would like it to make a Constitution saving throw.
Constitution saving throw coming right up.
DC 16.
24.
Fuck, nothing happens. As I try to throw some cold damage at it, and I kind of glare at it, look forward. So I guess we're going in? Yes? And I will... You know what? I'm going to move myself a little bit in here. Let me check measure. Oops. Hello?
What?
Oh, close the door. Sorry. Measuring. Yeah, I can see everyone. Yeah, one more. And to the corner. This is just like a light, or is there like actually a sigil on the floor?
There's a carved sigil into the floor, and that sigil glows with this kind of rainbowy colors.
Rayn is going to float over 10 feet.
Over it 10 feet. Okay.
Which is in this corner. I don't know whether that counts on it or not, but Rayn is just like making space for herself.
Perfect.
We have company. That's my turn.
The slimy creature drops down from the ceiling right in front of Dythun. And it looks at the chains that have just hurt it. And Dythun, you can see these shattered skull fragments in its translucent head start shaping up, like trying to reassemble themselves into a skull. And the jaw moves as if it's puppeteered by an outside force. But you can hear in your mind, 220 times 4, 220 times 3. And then it looks at the chains. 220 of my siblings slaughtered! And it attacks you, Dythun.
Joke's on you, I can't do math.
And does a 23 hit you?
Ida is being conservative with things. Just saying.
Yeah, that's what I'm also thinking. I'll test the waters with this one.
Famous last words.
Okay, so that 23, that does hit. That is 9 points of piercing damage as a quickly formed pseudopod ending in bone shard claws slashes across you.
Okay. How much was that? 9?
9 points of piercing damage.
Cool.
And followed up by this gooey head just opening wide into this wide ravenous maw and lashing out at you. That is a natural fucking 1. And it just goes wide by you as it just howls, 220! Do you remember them? Do you? And it dropped from the ceiling, made those attacks, quickly checking its stat block. And it is still going to move itself first over here and then over here. And that ends its turn. Vola is moving up to this end of the room, and there's this statue at the end of the room that still has 2 keys remaining in its entire 4 key locks that are in there. And she's checking there. It's 2, 2, 2. And she starts twisting 2 of the keys before she realizes 2 are missing. And she looks around like, no, there must be 4. And she looks. And then she points at this gooey creature. There! It has it! And you see she's pointing out that floating around in the gooey body are 2 keys that seem to be part of this creature. And that ends her turn for now. As one of these stitched up little creatures comes screaming and cackling down the hallway at Delphine and is trying one of its confounding bites.
Oh, great.
But I don't think a 13 will hit you.
No.
But while you're standing next to it, you just hear this screaming and cackling. It's so loud all around you, but doesn't have any effect on you yet, which also brings us to your turn, Delphine.
Okay, this is great. I don't like this, like, at all. Oh god. I have the weird feeling that it might not be unaffected.
What you doing?
I'm hammering 2 shots into his head.
Into the one right next to you?
Yes, please.
All right, fire
Yes.
away.
That's actually not bad. Okay, this is... one is a 24, the other one is a 20.
Yeah, both hit.
Nice, great. Okay. D10s, yes, I like them. This is 10. 20 points of damage.
You basically added the damage of both attacks together now, right?
Yes.
You're firing 2 attacks in there. You bam, bam, fire in there with your gun. And you do, however, see that these bullets are hitting not as good as you would expect them to hit.
Yep, I figured. I cannot go away without getting attacked.
Opportunity attack.
This is trash. I will just stand there.
Okay.
Cannot do much more right now. Yeah.
All right.
An expeditious retreat left in you?
Even then, I would need. I would move, and yeah. No,
Okay.
I don't have many spell slots left. I would rather save them on other stuff that's more useful.
Agreed.
I'm staying there. I'm guarding the door, basically.
All right. Another one of these cackling, howling creatures.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm just saying that. It's okay. It's okay.
comes running down over here and tries to have another confounding bite at you. But that's another natural one. And that brings us to the end of round 2. Oh, of round 1. At the start of round 2, however, there is more cackling and howling coming towards you as I'm adding 2 more friends to the mix. Why, I do not like this die. Let's try the Karo die.
Yeah, that will definitely
I
save you.
do like the Karo die.
Fuck me.
And that brings us to the top of initiative of round 2 with Rebus. You're still muted. Now you. There you're not.
Yeah, I hadn't started speaking. I was, well, do I see the new creatures coming in?
From your position, you only hear that there's more approaching.
Okay. Well, then I'll start by moving back here. Trying to attack.
The slimy fellow.
And be ready for... Yeah, because, I mean, he's the one I can see, and if there's more coming from that direction, yeah, I'll just
Makes total sense.
tank this, I guess. How far is this guy from me? Still on the ceiling?
No, he's down on the ground. He's right next to you.
Okay. Great. Alright. I click my glaive into 2 swords and I will do my usual attacks.
Are you doing them reckless?
Actually, let me think. 1 second. Yeah, okay. This first attack I'm going to do reckless, but I am not doing it with the swords yet. I am trying to bite this creature.
Okay.
I want to. So,
Fair enough.
Nom nom nom.
You're doing this one not reckless.
No, I am doing it reckless.
Oh, okay,
I
gotcha.
rolled with
So then you
advantage.
make it as
It
a
was just a
flat
16.
roll. You make it as a flat roll. in
Yeah,
that case.
it was a 16 to hit. Yeah.
That hits. That just hits.
Oh, awesome. That gets 10 points of piercing damage because I still
So
get
that-
throughout the rage. Yeah. And I get 3 hit points back as as a bit of the energy of this creature suddenly gets swallowed in a whirlwind of the metallic teeth, kind of like a lamprey, and the tubes that go up from my neck to the magical core kind of light up for a moment, and there's a bit of a vibrant boost to the engine, so to speak,
Nice.
and some plates click into place.
Nice.
Okay, I'm ready now, and I will slash with my swords. Are these also at disadvantage?
Because you hit this creature again, it's again a bit more solid and just regularly hittable.
Regularly hittable. Great. 23 to hit
That hits.
for the first slash, which is my second attack, for 11 points of slashing damage.
Mm-hmm.
And then, as a bonus action, I will do another attack. Have to check this every time. Yeah. Like I said, another attack with the other sword.
Mhm.
Oh, a 9.
9.
Rolled very low.
No, that doesn't hit. And
Well, worth a try.
absolutely. Still, you do notice you bit in this creature, got some of your health back from it, but you also notice that it really is resilient to most of these attacks you throw at it. You're chopping away at it, but it's a toughie.
Multiple times, but just doesn't seem to. It's just goo.
It's goo.
It's hard to cut anything important.
Was that your turn?
Yep, that's all that Rubus will do.
Gotcha. Dythun, with Rayn on deck.
Wonderful. Dythun, now hearing that there's a bunch of things outside, can I move through Rebus?
For Rebus? Yes. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Perfect.
I'll boost you.
Dythun is going to move through Rebus down to here,
Mm-hmm.
and then bait and switch with Delphine.
Oh.
Let me mark that. There we go. If Delphine, I don't know if you can move Delphine up.
I can. I think even Delphine could. I think she. Yeah.
There we go.
Perfect.
Perfect. And with bait and switch D8, he is going to give himself the armor class here.
Mm-hmm.
4, so he gets +4 to his AC currently.
Jeebus. All right. All right.
Wow, where'd it go? There we go. And then he is going to look around him and word just like shield tap and just shout burn, and he's going to word of radiance.
Word of Radiance. That should affect both the
So-
Grus next to you, right?
Yes, each creature of your choice. I need a Constitution saving throw from them.
All right. The one on the left. That's a total of 11. And the one on the right
Fails.
is a total of 5.
Both of them fail. So that is 6 radiant damage. Wait, is it radiant damage? I'm assuming. It's called Word of Radiance. I
Word of
didn't need to
Radiance.
roll
That sounds very radiant. As you... Kung!
We'll say yes. Yeah, there it is. D&D Beyond was not showing me, but yes, radiant damage.
Gotcha. As it just radiates out of you, and you see these radiant flames dancing over these cackling fiends with their charming tokens.
Charming is an interesting choice of words for that. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba.
That was your movement. That was your action.
Attack action. Yes, sorry. That's it.
That's it. All right. That
Double
brings it up
checking, but that's
to...
all I got.
That's Rayn up 10 feet, measuring stuff.
Lots of things.
You're still muted.
Thank you. Having heard Vola said that the keys are in the translucent squishy thing, Rayn is going to fly over next to Vola. It's A-okay. Still above, up on the ceiling.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Oh dear. From her angle now sees more smiley things outside. And we are going to cast a cone, which you saw me measure out.
Uh-huh.
And we are casting Rhymes Binding Ice, second level. And
Binding Ice.
it says, I don't have to see them, but each creature within the area must make a Constitution saving throw. Each. Doesn't specify
Each.
saying, but there's a wall, so I guess it's only those two.
Mm-hmm.
Con save, DC 16, please.
All right. Squishy Gooey Friend has a total of con save, right? That's a 14,
save.
so fails it.
Good.
Smiley Guy has a total of 6, so both of them fail it.
Excellent. Let's roll some damage. That is 3d8. Ooh, that is very good. 14 cold damage.
Ooh.
Very good roll. And each of those two are hindered by ice formation for 1 minute, or until it or another creature within reach of it uses an action to break away from the ice. Ergo, their speeds are now 0. and it takes an action to get out.
You actually see that this gooey creature is caked in ice, and the smiling creature that you hit with it is just caked in ice as well, but then shatters and is no longer part of this encounter.
That's what we need, right, Vola? Then, friends, make sure that one in particular doesn't go anywhere. And she's like concentrating, like ensuring that the ice is building up and it's not moving.
Right.
And as a bonus action, it is immobilized. It is there. As a bonus action, I'm going to transfer some sorcery points to a spell slot. So I'll do that. 1, 2, confirm, and I get back a 3rd level. I moved where I... No, I'm going to move because maybe I can see more things. Yeah, I see a smiley asshole, and I'm going to end my turn remaining 10 feet up in the ceiling, minding my handiwork down there.
That brings us to one of the new fellows down there who is just moving up a little, adding to the howling and cackling, but cannot get close enough to do anything at this point. And then brings us over to the frozen gooey aberration. Feet frozen by ice. It only reduces the speed to 0, right?
Correct.
It can still do like other actions.
Mm-hmm. But it's not a save every turn. It's an action to end
to
that
remove
effect.
It really has to spend its action. All right. It quickly just looks at Rayn, but doesn't grant it with any more attention. Its head spins back to where Dythun is, and it just keeps repeating, 220 siblings! And it just projects out that long pseudopod with claws at the end, and is going to make an attack roll against Dythun. It has reach with the attack. That is a total of 11, so I'm just gonna move right on to its neck extending and going for a bite attack. It has reach with this bite attack because it's made out of goo.
Ew. Imagine his head just like goes over there.
You.
Ew.
That is a 24.
That is my new armor class.
So meets it, beats it. But do you have another trick up your sleeve? Or do you really want to spend that resource now?
I'm not going to spend it yet.
Okay.
The resource I don't want to expend is the reaction, to be honest.
Okay. You take... So, you take... It would have been just 9 points of damage, but this creature has sneak attack. And it has an ally within 5 feet of its target.
What ally does it have? Oh, I don't see it.
Yeah.
And so we have 9, but I get to roll another 46 to add in there.
Fuck, do I have any reaction?
Well, this is already part of the attack, so
Yes, this already...
Yeah.
it already happened.
This is trash as fuck.
23. That's a total of 23 piercing damage that's coming your way.
On top of the 9 or including
No, that includes the 9.
Okay.
It's 23. However, I also need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, easy.
Famous last words.
It's like a 16. That's plenty.
+2 or already with the +2?
Oh, wait. Yeah, I have the aura, right?
Yay.
18.
Woo.
Thank your fellow players for reminding you of that.
Oof.
You feel as that bite hits, there is a corrosive acid to it that tries to seep into you, but you shake it off, supported by the power of Delphine's paladin aura, to not take that extra damage, which I'm going to be honest with you, would have been another 7d6 of damage. So,
Shit.
Spending the
um,
resources now.
so
Oh, damn.
that creature is now having put that anger and fury at you. Can't go anywhere because its speed is still 0. And it is stuck in that place. And Vola is going to take her turn. And she is... She actually is in a good position there. She can see you. And she is going to... She's going to drop a Cure Wounds on Dythun.
A healing word, you mean?
Because Cure Wounds, she would have to move up
Touch.
there.
Yeah.
I'm getting these always confused. She's actually going to move down here and is then going to do that.
Nice.
That is 15 points of healing for Dythun.
Wonderful.
And this combatant we can remove. So that brings us over to Delphine.
Yeah. Okay. I guess Vola has like everything in control with the Cleo. So there's only this one thing that is close to Dythun.
Mm-hmm.
So 2 attacks with my with the stronger rapier, because
With the
Vola
rapier?
doesn't- Yeah.
Yes.
Why not? 2 attacks.
You got it, you use it.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
this has that sword.
I couldn't even wield it anyway. One probably hits with 25,
Yeah, that hits.
and the other one is 14.
That also hits. Both of them hit.
Oh, cool, nice. Thank God. That's D8. Both D8s. Where are my D8s? 10 plus 16. 26 points of damage.
Fring, fring. It is gone
Wait.
and drops. Still, it falls to the ground, but even though you see none of the rest of its body moving, its mouth keeps moving and cackling and screaming.
Oh gosh. Okay, I guess. Oh fuck. I can't even drag Dythun with me because there's this. Wait, I didn't saw that a Cleo on the ceiling. I saw that something was frozen there.
Yeah, but it's right next to you, frozen. It's no longer on the ceiling. It's basically
Oh.
right next to you, frozen. Its legs frozen to the ground from the magic that Rayn did.
Yeah. Anyway, it's getting a little bit too cozy for me out there, so I'm moving myself over there.
All right. That's it.
Yep, that's it.
All right. That brings us to one more friend down here,
Hello, friend.
which is going to move over here, cackling, screaming, howling, crying, all at the same time, and is going to try to bite the biter, and that is Rebus. But I'm pretty sure a total of 12 will not hit Rebus, as
No, we're fine.
we see that this creature is just trying to jump at you, and you step back, but even with its mouth closed as it tried to jump at you, it's still like a ventriloquist projecting its cackling and howling from its body. The mouth doesn't even have to be open for this howling. And that brings us to the end of round 2. At the top of round 3, we have still the slimy, gooey creature stuck frozen to the ground. And as it's standing there, you hear a distant rumbling. And there is the sound of dripping ooze coming from the ceiling.
Oh, what
As if
now?
there's something squishing through.
Oh.
But what is that? What that means, we'll find out next week as we end today's session here
No,
and
Mark.
pick up next week.
Great. Great game.
Let me slash at this.
Marcus
All
doesn't
right.
like so.
Unbelievable.
I think you are all considering that this is the third fight without a long rest.
Mhm.
All of you are still holding up very well. This is
Yeah,
I mean, well
surprisingly-
is a very much a perspective view, you know.
Well,
How's
but
Dythun
you're-
looking?
how is Dythun looking?
I'm
HP wise?
okay now. I'm okay now.
What is HP? What means this in HP?
I'm okay.
I'm
almost
okay.
half.
I'm okay.
Everything's fine.
Okay.
I'm almost back to half.
Okay, Rebus?
I think I'm back to like half of the HP again.
Mm.
I was really low for a moment, but I am now back to half my HP.
Mhm.
Let me check the exact number. Yeah. Like pretty much exactly half my HP. We're good.
Rayn okay as well?
It's-
Rayn is never okay. She's squishy. Even if she's full health, she's squishy.
She's always just bruised.
As long as there are no more chests involved in here, all of you are going to be fine.
Please. We don't know.
Those 40 hit points, Marcus.
Yeah, that
Hell.
was.
That-
Oof.
Also,
And
going through
I
my
will-
actions, I've only just realized Dythun also has 2 weapon fighting for some reason.
Yeah,
And-
use it.
and-
You just need 2 weapons.
It's
Like, you
in-
need
and no,
to
no,
actually
you
have-
should
Dythun
have this
carries a
on
shield.
default. You should have this on default. If you're not proficient in this, you can always go to weapon fighting, holding one, and you're basically doing your normal attack. Your other one is a bonus attack without modifiers.
But Dythun wields a
Yeah.
shield. So
Yep.
Yeah.
that doesn't
Right.
happen. Unless you decide to
Maybe that's why
not
I
use the
forgot
shield.
about it.
Well, aren't we in a good situation to end this session here?
Who are you talking about?
See
We're
if we
doing great.
can pick this up next week. Look, you're going into
fine.
Xoriat,
It's
one of the
okay.
most dangerous planes. Like I'm just trying to make a point here. That's all I'm
You're
doing.
going
I think that's fair. It's absolutely fair.
So before people, before we wonder too much about what's going to happen next week,
Let us know what backup characters we should make.
for example, and if you want to let us know, there's ways of letting us know, because if you've been hanging out with us here today, thank you very much for coming to this game. Hope you liked seeing these characters take 40 points of thunder damage and dealing with slimy, gooey creatures. If you want to keep track of what we're doing, you find below the video a link to our Twitter, where you can find us whenever we go live and find information about whatever we're doing here on Horde of Tales, or hop on our Discord, talk with us, chat with us, give tips to these players for next week to see how that might help them. Also, if you just by some coincidence joining us today on our 61st session and you want to catch up with the first 60 sessions of this campaign, go over to our YouTube channel. On our YouTube channel, we have not just the VODs for this campaign, but all of the games we do here. We're just out of July with our Women in Gaming Month, so you can also find all the VODs from the amazing Women in Gaming games we had last month on our channel, and all other stuff we do here over on our YouTube at youtube.com/Horde Horde of Tales.
Carol, join us.
And
I will never.
One day.
Before
How many
be-
subscribers for Kara to
No.
chat with us? No. Okay.
We're
I'm
gonna-
sorry, this is your cringe. I'm not taking part in your cringe.
That's what makes it cringe.
before we're
Cringe.
heading out for today, any announcements people want to share for what's maybe coming up in the coming week for anyone?
Hey, it's currently on the Arms Guild. It's Christmas in July sale, so check it out. I have my stuff there as well. Go and buy it. I need to buy furniture. No, really, I need to buy furniture.
Good plug.
You do have all of your stuff on the DM's Guild,
Yeah, actually, yeah.
and
It's
if you
up to 25% reduced, which is actually a lot.
If you want to check out all the stuff that you can find made by Caro on the DM's Guild, I just dropped a link to it in chat. You can just find all of the stuff there, and you should totally check it out. There is some really amazing stuff in there. Also cool stuff that you cooperated on. For example, the Fantastic Tavern
yes.
project, which is really great if you want to look for fun taverns and also get cool prints for making your own coasters for those taverns. That's really cool. So check that out. Christmas in July.
Actually, it was one of my favorite activities to design these coasters.
Cool. All right. Anything else
Let's
from
see.
anyone else?
I do want to give a quick shout out. Wonderful person on the internet, Jorge, also known as TTRP Gifts, is having a casting call for Latin Heritage Month, inviting all Latine peoples, for all Latine tables, benefiting, I believe it is a charity that provides support to Latine youth wanting to learn more about technology, scripting, coding, etc. Strongly recommend. Great community. He's also looking for Spanish language tables and Portuguese language tables. So for Brazilians, of course, you're part of the Latine family. Come join and support. Highly recommend. I'm PMing everyone I know. Is like, sign up. It's a great initiative. And as for me personally, you can catch me tomorrow at Girls Run These Worlds at 7 p.m. Central European Time, 1 p.m. Eastern for a game. We're continuing Afterlife Nexus. We're dead. We're in purgatory. And we're trying to remember why we're there so we can move on. If we don't move on, we cease to exist. I believe my character is in the middle of remembering something. And it was mildly, maybe very emotionally traumatic, which is the whole mood of the game. So if you want to see some if you want to see a table that does their very best with all nuances and care and respect and communication, handle this type of level of game, I really recommend you stop by.
Absolutely. Links to both the casting call from TTRPG Gifts and to Girls Run These Worlds are up in the chat. Check them out and check Ida out tomorrow also in Girls Run These Worlds.
You know who you should also check out this week? You should check out Marcus this week on Thursday, because he is going to be having a wonderful chat with a wonderful writer called Ivris, who is the mother of Drama Llama. Drama Llama is a game where the players are llamas and you are on a reality TV show. You get to backstab and plot as much as you like, but being too much the villain actually can hurt you as well. It's a wonderful game. I was reading through Iris's short stack blog posts. She has like very interesting and really well-spoken takes and opinions about the TTRPG scene, about promoting, about developing a game, the whole Kickstarter process. She has a lot to share, and she's a wonderful person, and I'm really glad she's going to be featured in our Hot Creative Talks.
Absolutely. Looking forward to that on Thursday at normal hot time. So starting at 7 p.m. British Standard Time, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for our creative talk with Iversberg of Buttonkin Games for creator of Drama Llamas. And I'll bring this buddy by. I don't have a name for this llama yet. If you have a name, hit us up, share with us, and maybe we can have them named by Thursday.
Carl.
Carl! All right, let's think
Carl,
about
that kills people.
Karlama.
Yeah.
The llama. Oh, God. Oh, God. I need to...
Do you know this YouTube series?
Llamas with hats?
Llamas with hats.
Llamas
that's
with
right.
hats. Yes.
Karlama.
All right.
I really recommend everyone play Drama Llamas. It's a wonderful game. I did play a mini series with them at a Girls Friendly's World, and one of my the scene was, "Hey characters, make your viral. How would you go viral?" And on camera, I looked at everyone and I started eating my dice. No, I think that would go
All right.
viral. I washed
If
them.
that is everything for today, I want to thank everyone who came by to hang out with us, watch us play D&D. I want to thank this fantastic table for another fun session, and I'm already looking forward to next week. And thanks everyone for being here. Stay safe, take care, and see you soon on Horde of Tales.
Except for the raid.
Bye-bye.